Hey everybody, it is Kent with KG's Books. I am doing what I'm calling Kent's greatest book sale ever on Whatnot. It's going to be August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time. It's a Tuesday night. You can find me on Whatnot, Animal Vet 52. Also, I do auctions on eBay. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. Here are all of my social medias. I'm going to post a link in the description. This is just a sample of stuff I have set aside ready for the show. I'm going to be loading up some more items. I've kind of been hoarding some of the better stuff for a while now to put together this show. I'm really excited about it. Also, I'm going to put a link. If you're new to Whatnot, you can sign up with my link, and I think you get $10 or $15 towards your first purchase, and then I get a $5 kickback if you buy something. So it's good for both of us if you sign up for Whatnot using my link. And again, Whatnot, I'll have a lot of the items preloaded. There's going to be lots of surprises. There's going to be lots of giveaways, books and cash giveaways during the sale. It should be pretty exciting. Again, it is going to be Tuesday, August 26th at 5 p.m. Central Time. It'll probably be about a couple hour show, but all of these books are going to be on the auction. You can pre-bid on stuff. If you can't make it to the live auction, you can pre-bid on everything. But hopefully everyone can make it. Let me show off some of the cool stuff. I have a nice variety of stuff out here ready to go. This is going to be one of the first lots of the auctions. It is a gorgeous leather binding, Poetical Works of Alfred Tennyson. The poems of Alfred Tennyson, 1868. And not an overly special book, except for the fact that it's a 4-edge painting, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about this one. Actually, I just picked this one up a few weeks ago on my trip to John K. King Books in Detroit. This is Byland Abbey. Cool location. I believe in Yorkshire, England, or Yorkshire, however you say it. So we're gonna have a 4-edge painting as one of the first few lots of the sale. We have a 9-volume set right there of the works of William Shakespeare. Complete 9-volume set. I believe these volumes were all published in 1751. The works of William Shakespeare. Let's see, I think volume 1 has the indication that it is a 9-volume set. The works of Shakespeare in 9 volumes, 1791, published in London. Incredible little set right there. I'm excited about that one. Let me just go right down the line for you. Show you all the books that are going to be in the sale. The Heroes by Kingsley, nice leather book. Great marbling on this one. There you go, there's the other side of the page. The Heroes or Greek Fairy Tales for My Children by Charles Kingsley, 1887. Illustrated edition, cool book on Greek fairy tales. Very excited about that one. And again, everything in this, most of the books in this sale are like $50 plus. There's definitely some $100 and $200 and $3 books. That 4-edge painting is pretty darn valuable. Quite a mix of stuff. We got Edgar Allan Poe. We're going to have lots of classic literature and poetry. We got a nice lineup of books on Africa. Lots of fairy tale, legends, mythology, folklore, divine comedy, Alice in Wonderland. There's going to be at least this copy of Alice. I'm going to try to find some other ones. American history, Civil War, Charles Dickens Christmas books. Lots and lots of beautiful fine bindings. But let's keep going down the line. Beautiful full leather book right here. The Poetical Works of James Russell Lowell, published in 1888. Great looking full leather binding. I like that one. Up next, we have a tree calf leather. I might have a few tree calf leather books, but we're for sure going to have this one, The Poetical Works of Thomas More. Gorgeous binding on this one. The Poetical Works of Thomas More. No date. Maybe 1880s, 1890s, something like that. Another nice full leather binding. Book of Gems from Chaucer to Prior. Again, there's going to be some pretty darn high dollar stuff for this sale. And everything starts at $1. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do free shipping, but we might do free shipping. The Book of Gems. This is volume 1. And again, Chaucer to Prior. Great binding on that one. Is it just volume 1 or is it volume 2 as well? Nope, I think it is just volume 1. But a gorgeous leather binding. The Poetical Works of Felicia Heman. And again, absolutely stunning full leather binding. Gorgeous book. Really nice condition. I'm only going to bring some of the best books for this sale. If you're into fine bindings, classic literature, and then also there'll be some historical books as well. The Poetical Works of Miss Felicia Hemans, 1849. In a gorgeous full leather binding. Really nice one. With Shelley in Italy, another full leather binding. Again, I've been saving up some of the best books for this sale. I'm very excited. Should be a very fun sale. Looks like limited edition of 100 copies printed. With Shelley in Italy being a selection of the poems and letters of Percy Bysshe Shelley, to which to do with his life in Italy from 1818 to 1822. 1905 on this one. I think it's illustrated as well. Large paper edition, again, limited edition of the 100 copies printed in a really nice leather binding. Up next, we have a 8 volume set of the works of Edgar Allan Poe. It is complete in 8 volumes. I picked this set up in Chicago on my last little vacation trip. Published in 1902, it is complete in 8 volumes. Wow, check out that illustration there on the top of the title page. Great. Nice 8 volume set of Edgar Allan Poe. Up next, we have some great old books on Africa. Exploration of the Nile Tributaries of Abyssinia by Sir S.W. Baker, 1868. I think this one, does it have a map? Yep, there's a map in the back. Yep, there's some illustrations as well. Nice illustrated edition. 1868, Exploration of the Nile Tributaries of Abyssinia. Our journey around the world. I guess this one isn't specifically on Africa. Just a great little travel book, though. With a huge map. Big old fold-out map in this one. Again, I'm just getting started setting books aside. I'm going to work on loading all of these up into the shop today. And again, if you're not signed up for Whatnot, use my link below. It helps us both out. I think you'll either get $10 or $15 towards your first purchase. $18.96 on this one. And again, I'm going to put a link specifically to my show if you already are signed up. Or if not, I am Whatnot Seller Animal Vet 52. And all of these books, again, August 26th. That's a Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Central Time. Got a nice old book on David Livingstone. Or Livingston. Livingston's Travels and Researches in South Africa. Illustrated, published in 1858. Does this one have a map? Nope, no map in this one. Just a nice illustrated book on what David Livingstone was doing in Africa. Gonna put that back in there. We have a nice 2-volume set of African Game Trails by Teddy Roosevelt. These are 1920s. Yep, published in 1920. African Game Trails, an account of the African wanderings of an American hunter-naturalist by Teddy Roosevelt. 2 volumes, 1920. All right, we have one more David Livingstone book. Livingstone's Second Expedition to Africa. Very nice, clean copy. A popular account of Dr. Livingstone's expedition to the Zambezi and its tributaries, and of the discovery of Lake Shirwa and Nyassa. 1896 on this one. Looks like we have a fold-out frontispiece illustration right here. Again, every single one of these books is going to be up for auction, all starting at $1. All right, we're getting into the pile of mythology stuff. English fairy tales and other folklore selected by Edwin Sidney Hartland. No date, circa 1890s, early 1900s on that one. English folklore. Queens of the Air. Queens of the Air being a study of the Greek myths of Cloud and Storm by John Ruskin. Again, circa 1890s on that one. Oh, I love the cover on this one. A Brother to Dragons and Other Stories. Great looking cover. Killer cover on that one. A Brother to Dragons and Other Old-Time Tales by Amelia Reeves, 1888. Again, I just like the cover on that. And I'm sure it's interesting to read. Hero Tales of Ireland by Jeremiah Curtin with the original dust jacket. I'm sure that one's very tough to find with the dust jacket. An incredibly clean, gorgeous cover underneath as well. Great looking book right there. Excited about that one. Hero Tales of Ireland by Jeremiah Curtin, illustrated by Maurice Day, 1921. Just a cool little book of fairy tales. The King's Son and the White-Staged Skolog. Few plates in this one. Wonder Book of Old Romance. Great looking cover on that one with the medieval knight. The Wonder Book of Old Romance by F.J. Harvey Darton. Illustrated by A.G. Walter. 1931 on this one. Looks like someone did some coloring on some of the illustrations. Yep. Looks, I did not realize that. We'll still sell it. I think those are amateur colorings. Yep, definitely amateur colorings on those illustrations. Whoops, did not realize that. Canadian Folk Life and Folklore by William Parker Greenough. Canadian Folk Life and Folklore, 1897. Legends of Charlemagne and Romances of the Middle Ages. Part of Bulfinch's mythology. Legends of Charlemagne or Romances of the Middle Ages by Thomas Bulfinch. Circa 1890s on that one. Oh, we got a couple cool psychology books. Clinical Aspects of Psychoanalysis. Clinical Aspects of Psychoanalysis by Dr. René Laforge, translated by Joan Hall, 1938. The Family Neurosis, Cure and Complete of Treatment. Positive and Negative Complexes, an example of treatment. Transformations during treatment, etc., etc., etc. And then Hypnotism, Its Early Practice and Theory by J. Milne Bramwell. I'm going to have a few other psychology/occult books as well in this show. Hypnotism, Its History, Practice, and Theory. Looks like 1956 on that edition. There's going to be a few really cool American history books. I have 3 of them set aside ready to go, but I will go find some others, I'm sure. Sale's not for another month, so I got some time to put some more stuff together. National Jewels. You got George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and the Fathers of the Revolution by Reverend Andrew Manship, 1865. Published right at the end of the Civil War. Great contents in this one. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, George Washington's farewell address, the inaugural address of Abe Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, and then some other speeches of Lincoln and Washington, the Star-Spangled Banner, Our God is Marching On, etc., etc., etc. Great contents in that one, 1865. That's a cool book. We have a 3-volume set of the Divine Comedy, Hell, Purgatory, and Paradise, 1892 on that set. Nice little set of the Divine Comedy. We got some great fine bindings, Sesame and Lily, gorgeous binding on that one. I really like that design. The Vicar of Wakefield by Oliver Goldsmith, again, 1890s probably on that one. We have 1 copy of Alice, not the most exciting, but I think I'm going to come up with at least 1 or 2 other copies of Alice as well for the sale. Aesop's Fables and Picture Fables. Again, I think this one I picked up from John K. King Books on my trip a few weeks ago. 300 Aesop Fables, translated by Reverend George Filar Townsend. No date, maybe 1890s on this edition. Highly illustrated edition of Aesop Fables. Great little book of mostly animal stories with some color plates. Here's just a general U.S. history book, A Brief History of the U.S. There we go. A Brief History of the U.S. by Joel Dormer Steele and Esther Baker Steele. Copyright 1900 on this one. Lots of great illustrations and maps as well. Got a map of the Philippines Islands. A territorial development map of the U.S. Got a couple Civil War maps. The Mexican War, the War of 1812, Thomas Jefferson's administration, George Washington. A map to illustrate the War of 1812 to 1814. Great map of flags. And then going back into the colonial times and settlements as well. Great book right there. Nice Old Life of Daniel Boone. 1890s probably on that one. Gorgeous binding right here. I love this one. Switzerland and the Rhine by James Cook. Absolutely gorgeous binding. I'm excited about that one. The Boys of 61. Nice Civil War book by Charles Carlton Coffin. Nice illustrated. Very clean condition on almost everything that I'm going to be selling. The Boys of 61, or 4 Years of Fighting, Personal Observations with the Army and Navy by Charles Carlton Coffin, illustrated 1886. Just a cool little Civil War book on the history of the Civil War. Last one that I'm going to show you, and actually I got a couple more set aside. Christmas Stories by Charles Dickens. This is one of my favorite of the Charles Dickens bindings. And Christmas Stories is probably one of the most collected books. 1876, nicely illustrated edition of Christmas Stories by Charles Dickens. Obviously, we have The Christmas Carol, we have The Chimes, Cricket on the Hearth, The Battle of Life, The Haunted Man, and some other Christmas stories by Dickens. I'll show you two more. We have The American Natural History. I'm going to have lots of like animal books. This is the only one I have set aside right now. But I am going to have a bunch of animal-related books. The American Natural History by William T. Hornaday, 1922. Highly, highly illustrated book on mammals, fish, reptiles, birds. And again, hundreds and hundreds of illustrations, that one. And then last one, I'm going to have a couple of these. These are the Society for Psychical Research, 1889 to 1890. Absolutely incredible books on psychics and hypnotism, all of that kind of stuff. Clairvoyance, hallucinations. I don't know if there's anything on exorcisms. Hysteria, thought transference. Great contents though. A lot of cool psychological type stuff and experiments relating to psychical research. There'll probably be a couple of those on the sale. Last time, I'll let you know, I am Whatnot Seller, Animal Vet 52. I'm gonna have a link in the description to my show. And again, if you're gonna sign up, you may as well use my link and get $15 credit towards your first purchase. Plus I get a $5 kickback. So I appreciate it. If you're gonna sign up, use that link. One more. I have one more book to show you. Another absolutely killer. I don't do much with signed books, but this is Tarzan and the Golden Lion by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and it is signed with best wishes, Edgar Rice Burroughs. I'm very excited about that one. I don't sell a lot of signed books. I don't trust them, but this one, I mean, is guaranteed to be authentic. Tarzan and the Golden Lion by Edgar Rice Burroughs, published by Grosset and Dunlap, 1923, and again, signed. This might be one of the highlights of the show. And again, this is just the stuff I have set aside ready to go. We still have a month till the sale, so I'm going to be pulling some more stuff, and it's all going to be really, really great quality stuff. Everything starts at $1. There's going to be lots of giveaways, lots of free books and free cash and all that fun stuff. So please Make sure you check it out, get bookmarked, and if you can't make it on Tuesday night, you can always leave pre-bids. Thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully see you on August 26th at 5 p.m. Central.